Hi, welcome to my video. In this video, I am going to demonstrate how two microservices communicate with each other using OpenFeign and how the validation errors are raised and displayed with a customized and meaningful message. So, first, I'll show how to connect two microservices with each other. To do that, we have to add the OpenFeign dependency in the pom.xml file. So in my case, I had to add the dependency by my own from the Maven repository since my project is from last week. But if you are creating a project and if you're using IDE like IntelliJ, then IntelliJ will give you the chance to add the dependency when you are creating the project. After that, we have to enable it in our main application, annotating it enable Feign clients. Then we need to declare endpoint in the controller class. So in my case, in the product controller class, I have declared /products as the endpoint, and these endpoints will be called by another microservice to connect with this microservice and to access all the information. So that was the configuration for the first microservice. Now for the second microservice, the configuration is the same. So we have to declare the OpenFeign dependency in the pom.xml file, and we have to enable the Feign clients in the main function. And then we have to create an interface where this microservice will call the first microservice. So in my case, I have created the inventory service client as the interface for this microservice, and then I named it as the product list, and I gave the URL to connect it with the first microservice. So this URL means this products, which is the endpoint for the first microservice. So this endpoint is running on localhost 8080. So the first microservice is running on port 8080 with an endpoint, which is products. So that's pretty much it. Now, if I run these microservices, we'll see that this microservice can access the first microservice and can pull the information from there. Before diving into the testing these microservices, I'll quickly demonstrate how the validation process works. To validate any input, we need to declare the validation method in the DTO class. In my case, inventory is the DTO. So I have declared the addValid method, and then it will validate all the conditions are met or not. So for example, for my ID variable, I have raised some conditions like the value should be 0 or bigger than that. Otherwise, it will show this customized message, which is ID is mandatory and ID should not left blank on not getting the expected input. Now, since we have utilized the validation method, the program will raise some error on not getting the expected input. And as a programmer, we don't want to see any error in our code. So to mitigate that, we have to declare some method, some piece of code in the inventory controller class. So this piece of code will handle the errors and show the message, the customized message that we have declared in this field. Finally, it's our testing time. So if we run our code here, hopefully it will run successfully. It should. So we'll see that the code is running on port 8082. So our second microservice, which is the inventory service, is running on port 8082. And then if we run our first microservice, we'll see that this microservice is running on port 8080. So the second microservice is running on port 8082, and the first microservice is running on port 8080. Now you can declare the ports on the application properties under the resources folder. Here we have to use the Talent API to test our code like last week. So let's see if there is any products available or not. So to do that, we have to call our first microservice, which is running on port 8080, and we have to call the endpoints, which is products and product, and the get method. So as expected, there is no products available because I haven't added any product yet. Now to add the product, I can add it like this. So we have to switch it to the post method and declare the ports, which is port 8080, and the products is that endpoint. Now, so the product is added. Now I can add two more. So the ID is 2, and let's say this time it's laptop, and the price is pretty high. Yes, and let's add another product, last one. Let's say it's another type of laptop, which is not that expensive, only 1,000 euro. Okay, now let's check whether I can access this product information from my second microservice, which is running on port 8082 and using the endpoints inventory, and then it will call it by product details. Oh, sorry, I forgot to switch the method, so it's get. Now see, so here we can access the information, the details from the first microservice here. Now, if we want to check the validation method, we can do it like this. So let's switch it to the post method, and let's say support 8080 again, and the endpoints is the products. Let's keep it simple, and also the product. This time I won't give the name variable. So let's see what errors it shows. So if I hit in the send, now see, it says name is mandatory. So that's how the validation method works.